My idea of an extraordinary life.
My idea of an extraordinary life.
You know, as we kick off this time of year, as I talk to people, everybody wants better. Everybody wants to make sure that this year they do better,
Absolutely.
they go further, and they make more progress than they've ever made before in their lives. Well, guess what? In order for that to happen, you're going to have a plan, Laurie. The word for the day is plan.
Plan.
But listen to me. You can't sit and wish and hope for better. We got to work toward it.
That's right.
And the best way to work is to have a plan. So if you have a plan, now you can begin to work and be able to measure and see where am I moving and how fast am I going.
I love it. And don't you know that a plan starts with assessment?
Yes.
Where am I now? Where have I been? And where am I looking to go? I mean, that's really the assessment so that you can start from the correct place.
Yes.
And then move forward, right? And so don't forget, too, here at the Extraordinary Life Project, when we talk about a plan to move towards an extraordinary life, we're going to be unpacking that over the next few months to really dive deep with you guys. So what we talk about here is the tabletop. The tabletop is our extraordinary life, but underneath it, there's 4 legs that support that, and that's the foundation of your extraordinary life. And last show, we covered 2 of these 4 pillars.
Yes.
We covered the body and we covered the spirit.
Right.
Right. You can check that out in the cards above. We'll have that show linked for you guys and below. But check that out. You're going to want to see those first 2. And all we're doing right now is introducing you. We're going to really dive in deep over the next few months with you. So those are the first 2. Yeah.
It's really important. And so look at that video so you can walk through and be able to track with us.
Yes.
Because now we're talking about pillars 3 and 4. We're talking about the mind and the heart. Now, when I say that, a lot of people can say, whoa, hold on. We're introducing it. Remember, we're going to dive in and unpack each of these. But when we're talking about the mind, we're talking about kind of your growth and your learning. We're talking about your career, your business ideas, right? The things that you have for yourself and your idea planning. So these are the things that are circling around in your mind, things that can preoccupy your thoughts, but also it's really connected to what it is you're desiring.
I love it so much. And, you know, these are just a few things that we're looking at. There may be many more things that you're thinking, why didn't you include this? That's where the comments come in handy.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you're thinking, right? But the next one is the heart. Don't you love how I gave you mind and I get the heart?
Yeah, I know.
The next one is the heart. We're talking about so many great things here, guys. We're talking about relationships, both family and friends and church connections, all of those different the relationship you have with yourself, all those different relationships. We're talking about dreams. Now, we talked about dreams a little bit in a lot of categories earlier today, and we were like, that could be partially your mind and your heart and your spirit.
All those, yes.
Yes, and we will talk about how some of these different ideas cross over into different pillars, but we wanted dreams to end up in your heart. So another one would be intimacy, both with those people around you and also with yourself. It would also include your purpose or your calling, you know, what you feel like you're here to do while you're here. And lastly, we've got authenticity in there and really looking at that. That's been such a buzzword over the last few years to the point of people probably not even wanting to say it anymore. But there is some really good stuff that we're going to unpack around authenticity.
It really is. Now, as we look at this, you know, we've talked about the 4 pillars, right? We've talked about body, we've talked about spirit, we've talked about mind, and we've talked about heart. Being able to look at those 4 are very important parts to our being. And we've got to understand, as Laurie talked about with that tabletop, understanding that all 4 of those are necessary. All 4 of those are going to sustain us in our lives. So we've got to make sure that we're on track and looking and being very intentional with all 4. But what I would love to know is, based on where you are right now, which of the 4 are really kind of resonating with you right now? What's the primary thing that you think you're focused on in this stage right now here today? Because we're all going to be kind of focused on different areas based on what's going on in life.
Absolutely. And one of the things we've been discussing too is that you might find yourself focused on multiple areas, right? And that's when we talked about that assessment, to just assess that, yes, I need some work in these various areas. I'm going to put some of my time and energy and possibly some of your money this next year in some of these different areas. But then to look at it and go, if I have mind and body, what is the one that kind of lifts to the top, you know? And that's assessing it. But if they kind of tie, it would be one of those things to take a few moments and really think about this last year and your struggles and the things that held you back from what you felt was your best life, and which of the pillars does that fall into, so that you can really put your full focus onto that. Which domino could you knock over?
You have to. And here's the thing, you got to be honest with yourself.
That's right.
Like, this isn't a time to try to hem and haw and play games. We're not worried about what other people think. Remember, this information is for you.
Yes.
This is about your growth and about your life. So this is about for you. So I want you to be honest with yourself in your assessment. But let us know, of the four, again,
right
as
now,
we look at this, as we talk about body, we talk about spirit, we talk about mind or heart, which ones which one is the biggest one and on focus for you right now?
Yeah, I love that. And guys, if you like what we're up to, we would love for you to join our community. If you would just subscribe, or if you like this video, you can just hit that like button to let YouTube know this is good content. And lastly, if there's someone you know that could have some value from this, your grandmother or your friend or your boss or anyone, please send this to them. Just forward this to them and let us bless them as well. That's what we're up to.
Absolutely. This is all about you. And remember, we're all in this thing together.